It's time for Tonia's Kitchen, taking you around the world of food and wine. Here is Tonia King.
Joining me today is cookbook author Elise Thomas. Today we're talking about your brand new book, Eat Dessert First, Elise's Home Kitchen. How are you today?
Good. Thank you for having me.
Beautiful book. Gosh, those pictures jump right out at you.
Yes, I wanted pictures for every single recipe because I feel like pictures are key.
Tell me a little bit about yourself. Is this your first book?
Yes, this is my first book, my first cookbook. I own Cookie Co. We are a cookie bakery, and I started in Redlands, California during the pandemic. Not planned, it just happened to be during the pandemic. And we own 3 shops of our own, and then we started franchising a year and a half ago, and we have about 26 franchises.
Oh my goodness, that's great. All doing cookies.
Yes, all doing cookies.
Are they all West Coast or where are they located?
No, they're actually all over the country.
So you must definitely love cookies. Are you the creator of all the recipes?
I am.
Let's talk about some of those. There are so many great desserts in here besides cookies.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I'm an adult. I can eat, what I want to eat when I want to eat. I love food, but I especially love sweets. Like that is my, go-to. And cookies are obviously my favorite. That's why I opened up a cookie bakery. That's my favorite treat. I definitely eat, a cookie for lunch, probably at least 3 times a week. So we kind of I wanted to do something different and put the desserts at the beginning of the cookbook and just kind of say, you can eat dessert whenever you want. You want to eat it before your meal? Then do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Life is too short.
100%. And it makes me happy. So why not?
Oh, I'm right
Brings
with
joy.
you. Let's talk about some of those cookies. Are you doing regular cookies? Give me a variety of cookies that we can find in any of your shops.
So yeah, we have our cookies are gourmet. We use real butter, real eggs, real sugar, and we have, our basic chocolate chip, which we're famous for. And it's my recipe that I just perfected over the years, and that's kind of what made me want to start my own cookie shop. But then we have really fun cookies, like we have a Fruity Pebbles cookie. This week we have a coffee cake cookie that is literally so amazing. It's stuffed with, a brown sugar mixture in the middle, and then has a crumb topping and a vanilla glaze, which is amazing.
Mm.
And last week we did a fluffer nutter, which is like a peanut butter cookie with a marshmallow center, rolled in
Wow.
sugar with a peanut butter drizzle. So yeah, we have really unique gourmet cookies that are big. And every week we rotate our flavors, and they're so good.
Wow, what a cool place. I wish I had a cookie place like that near me. That
I
sounds
know.
really, really, really delicious. Why don't you share some of the cookie recipes with us if you can, or some of the other recipes from this book? The book is definitely a lot more than cookies. I mean, pretzel bites, there's salads, there's a lot of different things in here. How did you choose some of these other recipes?
So I, as a working mom, I started a business working a lot. I have 4 kids. And these are a lot of my family recipes that I've kind of changed a little bit, adapted, and used just over the years of my life and my marriage. I've always loved to cook. I've always loved to be in the kitchen. When I was a little girl, I always would follow my mom around the kitchen and help her do our cooking and baking. I've just always loved to cook. And so I kind of put in this book everyday recipes for a busy mom. So these recipes are a good home cooked meal, but they're not recipes that are going to take you a whole lot of time. Most of the recipes, you'll be able to find a lot of these ingredients just right in your pantry, and they're inexpensive and they're delicious, so that, you don't have to be a gourmet chef to make these. It's just like your everyday person can make these. And a lot of people who have already received their book have said that their kids have been helping them make the recipes. And I love that.
Oh,
Start them while they're young,
absolutely.
get them to know this. So yeah, that's kind of what I did. I did a lot of family favorites, a lot of kid favorites. On the tabs, you can see that I've marked some of them that are my kids' favorites, so that moms or dads can look through it and see, oh, hey, this is a kid-friendly recipe, so I should make this tonight because my kids will probably, actually eat this meal.
You got to share a couple recipes with me. I don't care if you want to do cookies or if you want to do other stuff from the book, but some of these recipes are just very inviting. So Can you tell me how to make something?
Sure. So, one of my favorites in there, which my cousin just reminded me this morning, she had told me that like her son makes them all the time. And it's so simple and so delicious, is the pancakes in there. They're fluffy, they're so good, but you use sour cream, butter, and all that yummy stuff, but they're really simple. It makes the pancakes really fluffy. And what I like to do after I make them is sometimes I'll even double it and I'll put some in the freezer, and then in the morning, I'll just, take one out for my kids before they go to school, microwave them for a few seconds, and you're good to go. Just top with some strawberries, maple syrup. So it's super easy and simple. A lot of my recipes, you can do things like that. Or I have my French toast sticks in there as well, which are really, really good if you want to like impress someone. They're not super hard, but they taste really good. Take like a rolling pin and you'll flatten your bread, and then you're going to put the center, and it's in the book, the brown sugar cinnamon mixture in the middle of the flat bread. You'll roll it up, dip it in the egg mixture, and then you'll put it on the pan that way. So then it makes this like really crunchy, delicious French toast stick, and then you can top it with maple syrup, whipped cream. And it's just kind of one of those recipes that's not super hard, but it really impress your guests. So if you have someone, coming into town to spend the night, you can impress them with some French toast sticks.
That almost sounds like crepes, like you're rolling them up like a crepe.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Very
Except for
cool.
it's bread. Yeah. Another one I have in there, it is one of the cookie ones, is what we do is it's a stuffed peanut butter cookie with an Oreo in the middle.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, you make the peanut butter cookies, but you actually put an Oreo, like a full-size Oreo, and you put the dough around it, and then you bake it like that. And so when people bite into it, they have like a peanut butter cookie with an Oreo in the middle.
It's like
And
getting a
it's
chocolate
so good.
surprise.
Yes, it's so good.
It must be
You know.
big too. They sound like they must
Yeah,
puff up.
they're not, yeah, they do puff up, but they're not, I mean, you can kind of make them how you want, but they're not huge. So they are so delicious. And then we have another really fun family favorite recipe in there is my mom's caramel corn. And she, makes this caramel corn every year for Christmas time. And we would pass it around to our neighbors. And we actually had a fight in my family because when I was going to make this recipe book, my dad, he would always make this caramel corn growing up because he loves popcorn. He is a huge popcorn fan. So my dad would always be in the kitchen making this. It's like one of the one things that he would make, out of my childhood. He didn't make much, but he would always be in the kitchen making this caramel corn. And so before I came out with the cookbook, I told my mom, I was like, should I name the caramel corn after dad? Because he was always the one making it. And she was like, no, it's my recipe. But the key different ingredient in that one is that we put a little bit of peanut butter in it. And it makes it really soft and chewy. And it's literally the best caramel corn you'll ever make. So that one I highly recommend.
That sounds great.
It's really good.
Yeah. Wow. What about something savory?
So something that's savory, I have a lot of yummy dips in there. I love appetizers. I'm a huge appetizer person. I think like when I go to restaurants, sometimes like I would just rather just order a bunch of appetizers,
Yeah.
So I'm all about that. I love my salty and sweet combo. So some of those in there, I have a really delicious corn dip in there with crackers that has corn, and it has cheese, green chilies, and has mayo, that kind of thing to keep it all together. But it's very simple and easy to make. And then you put it in the fridge. And then when you have, like, say it's New Year's Eve or something, bring it out with some crackers. It's going to get devoured. It's so good. And then there's also a jalapeno popper dip in there that is so good with jalapenos and cream cheese and, all the delicious things. I'm not telling you these are low calorie. I'm not telling you these are low calorie. I will not say that at all, but they're all really good. And, at least I always tell people like with our cookies too. I mean, I'm not saying that these cookies are good. I mean, good for you. I couldn't say that. Like, they're not nutritious by any means, but we do use real butter and real sugar and real eggs. So you're not getting any of the artificial things. So your body does process it better. So if you're going to eat, a sweet treat or going to eat, a yummy dip or something, as long like
it's real.
Not processed, so it's real. Your body's gonna still, you'll still get a little bit something out of that, but they're so good. And then my famous pizza recipe is in there. Chicken, we put a buffalo chicken recipe in there to put on the pizza, and it's really good. This recipe, the dough, I got from a little old Italian lady in New Jersey when I lived there and kind of adapted it, and it has become a family favorite. And I will say my photographer who did all the pictures for this cookbook, he is like a huge foodie. And he went to New York, and when he came back, I was like, oh my gosh, wasn't that pizza so good? And he was like, honestly, he's like, I feel like I went high and low, and I feel like your pizza's better. So I was like, oh, wow. That was a huge compliment, because he does not say that lightly. So I was like, oh my gosh, because he ate every time, he was taking pictures of the food, he was trying all of them too.
So your pizza has buffalo chicken on it?
Yeah, it says buffalo chicken.
What
and
else?
Some buffalo sauce on it, and cheese, and some green onion. And you can just cook it right in the oven, or like if you have a pizza oven. I know like pizza ovens are really popular right now.
Mm-hmm.
We have an uni that we just have like in our backyard that I usually cook it on, but you can just put it right in your oven, and it's still so good. And you don't have to go out and buy your pizza.
What kind of cheese are you using?
Mozzarella.
Ah, that sounds really, really interesting. I'll have to check that out. We're talking with Elise Thomas about the brand new book, Elise's Home Kitchen, Eat Dessert First. It's a perfect line to think about all the time. How do we find you on social media to find out more about your book and your cookies?
Yeah. Yes. So you can find me on social media. My Instagram handle is at Elise the Cookie Lady. And then my business page is at Cookie Co. Very simple. Yeah, you can buy my book on Amazon now. They're already shipping the books out. So
it sounds great. And the recipes, the pictures, everything looks really, really delicious. Elise, it's just been a pleasure chatting with you, and I'm getting excited about cookies now.
Yes.
Thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for tuning in. We hope you'll subscribe to this podcast as we continue to take you around the world of food and wine on Tonia's Kitchen.